Hi, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood, and today I want to talk to you about a price list and using a price list when it comes to exterior wood restoration. So for contractors, and I know homeowners and so forth will also look at this. This is a very informative video when it comes to pricing. So when most people are doing wood restoration, whether it's their cleaning process or restoration or whatever they're trying to price, they try to get it down to just that, cleaning and restoration or cleaning and stripping. They usually have two different prices, or maybe they have a third price, but they really don't go into the pricing as it should be. And what I mean by that is, if you're taking wood that's just grayed out, that has to be cleaned, or you have wood that has stain on it, has to be stripped, there's different scenarios, there's different conditions of the wood and what work has to be done that you would develop a price list for. For example, if we were just going to do a light cleaning and restoring the wood and then applying a sealer, that would be one price. If we were to do a light cleaning and put a semi-transparent on it, that's going to take a little bit longer to apply a semi-transparent than a sealer. So that would be a second price. If we're just going to do a light cleaning and restoration and then put a solid stain on, solid stains are like paints, they even take longer. So there's more labor involved in that scenario. So that would be a different price. Now, I didn't even mention what happens if we have to do a light sanding on the deck, which has to be done sometimes periodically, or it depends on how it was treated and used prior as well. So you take that cleaning, sanding, and a sealer, or cleaning, sanding, and a semi-transparent stain, cleaning, sanding, and a solid stain, and you have 6 different prices right there. Then we didn't even talk about stripping. So now we talk about stripping the wood and applying a sealer. Then we talk about stripping, brightening, restoring, and then applying a semi-transparent, and then a solid, and then sanding if it's in there. Now we're up to 12 different prices already, 12 different scenarios. And we didn't even get into some of the other scenarios that are involved in wood restoration, although I just gave you 12 scenarios that you would have 12 different prices for. And the difference could be 25 or 50 cents difference a square foot. So it doesn't have to be a lot, but each time you graduate up in what you're doing, you might change that price by 25 or 50 cents or whatever is a square foot, and you develop a price list. So you say, okay, well, why are we doing this? Well, one, a price list will make you more profitable. You'll bring more money in from it. We'll show you that when we go into the conference room and actually put these numbers together. But the other thing too is, to be honest with you, it keeps you fair with the customers, and the customers will also feel that they're being treated equal and fair as well. You walk into a fast food place, there's a menu. You walk into a store, there's price tags. People have prices. We should have prices for our services. It helps define what we're doing. It makes sure that we're profitable on the jobs, but it also lets the customers know we're being fair. So it's easier when you're on a deck or at a house and you're talking to the customer about the project, and you can open up and say, we go by a price list, we treat everybody fairly. They understand that there's no negotiation, everybody's fair, everybody's on the same page. So it makes it much easier if you have a price list. It makes you look more professional to the customer, to the client. You want them to know you're professional, that you cover every scenario. So that's what we do. We have a price list for everything. So that's not just it. It's not just the perception and the image and also defining it and helping you become profitable, but the numbers could astound you. And we're going to go in the conference room now, and we're going to show you how those numbers make a big difference at the end of the day and the end of the year. Okay, now we're in the conference room, and I actually just want to show you in writing and in figures exactly what I mean by using a price list and the difference in a price list. So I was recently up in York, PA at an event, and I was speaking to about 100 contractors or so, and we were talking about one of the items we were talking about was the developing of a price list. So I was talking to one contractor, and he mentioned that he's doing a lot of wood restoration because last year, by mistake, he did 270 decks during the year. That's a lot of decks for somebody who's wasn't their focus, but now is becoming their focus. So there is some frustration when it comes to doing that much decks. Are we making money? Are some of them harder to do? Are we getting paid for what we should, and so forth? Developing a price list takes some of those pains away. So we're going to take his scenario of 270 decks. Okay, 270 decks. And of the 270 decks, and excuse my writing, I'm left-handed and, you know, so forth and so on, but 270 decks, okay, we're going to take an average of 700 square feet per deck. That includes the floor and the railings. We're just taking an average size deck. We have 270 decks, 700 square feet each deck. Of 270, that's a total of 189,000 square feet. $189,000 square feet of all the decks he did in 1 year. If we were a difference of just 25 cents difference on pricing, so we covered the different scenarios and we were a difference of 25 cents difference on all of them. Some of them we might be, if we're only using 2 or 3 prices, we might be 50, 75 or $1 off on our pricing. But just taking 25 cents. No customer, nobody's going to turn you down because you're 25 cents more a square foot than someone else, or by adding 25 cents per square foot to the price you were charging. The 25 cents actually accounts for the difficulties or the graduation up of what you're applying or the services you're providing. But let's just take it and simplify it. 25 cents per square foot. It's up to us to sell the job. 25 cents per square foot. If we had that much more from 270 decks, at the end of the day, I should say the end of the year. Facetiously, I said at the end of the day. But at the end of the year, we end up with $47,250 more. Just 25 cents a square foot difference. So think if we really dial in our price list, what happens to that number? We're leaving money on the table if we don't have a price list. This gets us what? Better equipment, more productive equipment, a nicer vehicle, whether it's personal or for work, a better vacation, a better quality of life, more profitable, getting paid for what we're already doing. That's just a small scenario of the 270 decks that I use from example from somebody that was in a class, and that's the difference. So to sum it all up, from the deck outside and the different scenarios, and then showing you the numbers in here, developing a price list is key to your business. It makes you more professional, more profitable, takes the pain out of those jobs that are frustrating to you, and it separates you from others, and it defines your services. All kinds of good reasons for using a price list. I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel and see more videos.